Good evening, Greg here, burning both ends, burning on the back end of an awesome Wednesday. I'm so psyched, flying out to New York City tomorrow. Going to be incredible weekend with my dad and my brother. Celebrate his 75th birthday. He turned 75 in February of this year. And born and raised in New York City, and so we're taking him back to have some awesome experiences. We're in the Springsteen Lottery on Broadway, so we'll see what happens there. Just a lot of fun. We're going to go to a steakhouse at some point. We're staying one night in the city and then at my brother's place in Connecticut. Just going to be a blast. So excited. And I'm getting up rather early, so the post is a little bit early tonight. I still got to pack. But yeah, I'm up. I'm going to post in the morning before I leave, so I'm up at like 3:15. I got to get a 4:42 BART to get to SFO on time. I got a 7 a.m. flight direct, so I'm psyched and totally planned for this. I got the American Express like gold rewards or something with 50,000 points. Use those points to pay for the trip, so psyched that I got that lined up. So let's jump into tonight's topic real quick. And this is, I had this awesome experience at work today, and this is what made me think about it. How important it is that I focus on the little things, and it's these little things that get me pumped. And so that's the topic, just the little things that get me pumped. I find that I'm able to keep a positive attitude, stay in optimism most of the time. I mean, you dip out every so often, but how quick can I pull myself back? And I can do this by focusing on these little things that I get excited about, I get pumped. These little things that, keep me excited, psyched, whatever you call it, for that next move. Right? Like, what's the next move? What's the next thing I'm doing? What's the next action I'm taking? This is so critical, right? It's all about action. It's all about planning for action, taking action. And so, how can I get pumped for the next action? And so, what I've realized is that, and once again, it's cool. Like, writing this outline really helps me focus on and like tie a lot of things together in my mind. And what I've realized that I do that gives me success is every day of the week, I've got so many things to focus on for positivity and for optimism and for just crushing it. I tried to make a list of for each day, and I just found that there was just too many things. So I pretty much have the weekend days and then the 5 days of the week, because that is such a difference in rhythm because of the family, because of work. And so I just kind of have two categories. For the weekend, I love the weekend burn now. I love getting up early, having time in the morning to focus on business, time in the late night when everyone's asleep to focus on business, focus on this channel, focus on collaborations, focus on all these amazing things, and tech transfer, iCore, all these awesome things that I'm doing, that I am so lucky to be involved in. And then after my morning burn, for example, I make breakfast for the family. I love cooking. I love providing for my family. And so whether it's pancakes or egg sandwiches or just scrambled eggs or even just cereal sometimes, I love doing it. I love the taste of a fried egg. I love my coffee, my keto coffee. And then I also have some regular coffee. Because the keto coffee is like first thing, so that's like at 5, and maybe about 8 or 9 I'll have another cup of just regular coffee. I just love it. And on my keto diet I get to have heavy cream in it, which is just super awesome. And and I just know on the weekends, my wife and I, we are so focused on our kids that we know we're gonna have these great days with our kids. No matter what we're doing. Sometimes, a lot of times we have planned events, like my little one's in ballet. My bigger one does aerial gymnastics, so that's one. It's typically on Sunday. And then we have our favorite spots to go to, and then we have our kind of little festivals, and it's actually becoming summertime soon, and so it's gonna really start kicking up with festivals and some live music and food trucks and all these cool things. So, and my wife and I really focus on the kids, and so we know that weekends are just awesome days to have fun with the kids and give them great experiences. And I couldn't imagine a more positive thing than spending some incredible time with my kids, giving them a great experience. That's top of the list. So, and then of course, little things here. Saturday, I love Saturday because it's the first day of the weekend. It's the first day to kind of adapt to this new rhythm. And then Sunday, I love Sunday because now I'm getting in preparation for the coming work week, and just, how am I going to crush it this week? Just all these great things to focus on. And my kind of motto is like, whatever the scenario is, let me get into positivity around it. Because, bad stuff happens, struggles, of course. Everything's not perfect all the time, but how can I get some perspective on the positivity of the situation? Or maybe this is just, I have to go through this because it's a test. Saturday I have to go to the DMV or something and spend 2 hours there. It's like, well, I like driving my car, so this is the price to pay, that kind of a thing. Another real big thing that I focus on is time with people, right? I just talked a lot about time with my family, and then during the week it's time with all this incredible wisdom that's around me. All these folks I work with that have been doing in their craft for just decades, and just they're masters. And let me schedule time with these people to absorb some of that wisdom. As a matter of fact, I was sitting down with a gentleman just the other day going over a fabrication drawing for a weldment. And we're getting into geometric dimensioning and tolerancing. Pretty geeky stuff, but it's kind of the big part of my world, and I love that stuff. And we were just having an awesome conversation about, the kind of the balance between, the engineer and the machinist, and then the designer, right? All these different roles that we play, and function and form and fit, and do this that makes that easier, but then it makes this harder, and you don't need it that tight here, and if you put this here, it's going to be that kind of inspection, and this is what this person sees, and this is what that person sees when they see the drawing. It was just amazing to tap into this gentleman's 30, maybe even 40 plus years of manufacturing experience. And one of the cool things is that he was totally humble. He's like, I'm not an engineer, I'm a technician, I'm a machinist, so this is what I know. I don't know, and so just that was just fantastic. And just to appreciate being in that moment and being so lucky to absorb that wisdom. And to intentionally go out and seek it. There are a bunch of other, there are several dozen people like him where I work that just there's decades of experience, and just this wisdom and knowledge oozes out of them, and they're very eager to give it up. They're very eager to pass it down. And as a matter of fact, I think a lot of these men and women are frustrated that we don't have a more formal process on how to pass this tribal knowledge down. And they know that when they retire and they walk out the door, it's going to go with them. And what a shame. And then also in these crafts, like, welders, machinists, inspectors, it's like kind of like a dying breed, because a lot of the young kids are going toward IT, going toward internet, what have you. I sound like an old person. Internet, what have you. But it's a little bit more rare that a young person chooses a career like a machinist, a craftsman. So it's interesting because it's so important that we take that knowledge and we pass it on. And also, something else that I know I'll have to face during the week is there are going to be some challenging meetings with some challenging folks. And my goal in those situations is to appreciate their strengths, leverage their strengths. And there's always a battle in my head with those meetings because, I don't know if this is part of my East Coast upbringing, but I have this judgment component to my mind, and I'm constantly fighting it. I'm constantly chill out with the judgment. Let's just focus on strengths and, how this is moving the project forward, things like that. Because, I have to admit there are some people at the lab that can be rather difficult to work with. I'm sure at points in time I can be difficult to work with. I can be impatient sometimes. I can get short with people. I hate when I'm like that. And I'm working very hard not to be like that. But, we all have our moments. It'd be a bunch of BS if I tried to imagine that I was just this perfect engineer. But I'm not. Bubbly water is wonderful. Meyer lemons, love them. So anyway, that's a battle in my mind, this judgment battle. And so I go to appreciate strengths. And and with that, I tap into the wisdom. So it's kind of it's a great way to get into positivity around maybe a tough meeting or difficult person. How's my chair making that noise? So and then the third piece here, right? So we had, I got several things for each day of the week. I got time with people, very important, right? And then I always stumble upon these bonus, what I call micro wins, right? That's what this is all about, these little things, micro wins. Right. Typically, I find that, I'll go the extra mile on some things because I want to bang them out. I want to create a sense of urgency. That's some great leadership advice that I received from James Festmeyer from Kennedy Space Center. For his team, he's like, create a sense of urgency. And so go the extra mile. Let's bang this out today. Let's bang this out before lunch. Let's hit this, by Wednesday. And that helps me plan meetings. It helps me, sequence when I'm going to meet with whom and things like that. And I just love over delivering for a customer. Just, hey, we thought we were going to have this by Friday, but here we got it Wednesday, so we can pick up a couple days in schedule. Everyone loves that, picking up schedule, right? Picking up time. There you go. If I can sell time, like Gary Vee says, that's a hot commodity. Selling time. I think that's a car going by. See that light? Sorry, opposite that light. I think that's a car going by outside. Anyway, over delivering for my customers, selling them time, picking up schedule. I find that it's so much more valuable where I work to pick up schedule than cost. I mean, people have cost and it's important, but time is so much more valuable, and it's because of that marching army concept, right? I'll just break into this just for a second and then get back to the micro wins, right? So there's this concept of I'm running a team of people for a project, so every day I got, let's just say, 10 people clocking in, giving me 8 hours on the project. Let's say they're $100 each, an hour, so that's $800 per person per day times 10, so that's $8,000 a day. So I'm spending $8,000 a day no matter what. If I pick my nose or if I do something amazing, I'm still spending $8,000 a day. And so that helps me understand how to make decisions on money in my project. So, if I can save a day, I just saved $8,000. Right? So, and there are a couple different tricks to pull, right? I might get parts made in several different shops at the same time, and the first one here wins because maybe next month I'm going to bump up to 20 people, a day hitting my project. And now I really care about $16,000 a day, so on and so forth. So there's this marching army concept. A little side note, just about project management, right? So what's your marching army? What are you billing out every day, regardless of what progress you make? Helps make decisions on spending money or investing money in time and buying time. You know how much your time is worth. That's why some of these meetings with so many people that are just so routine and don't really have an agenda kind of get to me, because it's like, do we really need to meet? I'm happy to cancel a meeting if everyone's in alignment with where we're going. Of course, that's critical. Or you have the micro meeting, you have the 5-minute check-in. Okay, you're good, boom, all right, break, get back to work. But I also truly value these longer meetings, these planning meetings, sitting in there for 3 to 4 hours, sweating through it, doing the dirty work. I see so much value in those too when they're properly planned. All right, so back to these bonus micro wins. Right, so I went into going the extra mile, over delivering for a customer, and then being of service. I'll have these daily stand-ups when we're heavy in integration and assembling things, and we'll just want to check in every day for 10 minutes just to make sure that we got what we need and we have things lined up. And what I've been doing recently is I just show up and like, hey, is there anything I can do to help you? And people are kind of, you want to help me? And it's amazing how people resist the help. I'm fascinated. I would say 1 out of 10 asks, actually, someone says, yeah, help me with this. So it's interesting, and I love being of service. Like just the other day, just getting donuts for the scientists as they were working on something. That was the most important thing I could have done at that time, and I was thrilled to do it. And then today, actually the micro win that came up today is we released some radiation shielding drawings, which I would argue are probably some of the most important drawings that we make. And, we've been working hard on these drawings. I'm working with the scientist, I'm working with the health inspector that has to approve them, and we just hit a bunch of things in a row today, a bunch of micro wins that led to releasing the drawing, which is a big part of the process. So now the drawing is official, it can officially be used, the scientist can now do his experiment, and so it's a huge milestone. And it was that micro win, and I remember it was kind of funny and cheesy when it happened. I got in we have these little GEM electric vehicles at work that we drive around, and they're kind of corny looking, they're just like little golf carts. And so it was driving around to this gentleman's building, the health inspector, getting him, it was walking into his building with the drawings in hand, knowing that we were going to hit this milestone, and it just felt so good. It was awesome. And then I get back into the little gym and I'm driving around. It's just kind of funny. But anyway, so that's the post for tonight. It's the little things that get me pumped. It really works for me. It keeps me in positivity. And then when I'm in positivity, just awesome things show up. The universe delivers all the time, I find. And so, all right. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's post. Subscribe. Comment down below. I want to hear what you're up to. Please, if I can help with anything, I got tremendous resources. I'd love to help. Please throw a question at me, throw a problem at me. I love solving problems. On my Ends platform, join Ends, follow me on Ends. You can hear me voice out a bunch of things. Actually, I'm engaged with someone on Ends right now where they are literally thinking of a problem for me to solve, and I'm excited to get. I have no idea what it's going to be. I think that she's a singer of some sort, so who knows? I'm a trained problem solver. This is what engineers do for a living. We solve problems, and usually very complicated problems too. So I think I'm pretty good at it. A bunch of links down in the description. Check it out. There's the outline for my talk. Motivational videos, people that inspire me. Gary V, thanks a lot again for the content today. Really enjoyed it. And then, of course, a shout out to G Money, drummer extraordinaire, my alter ego. I write these drum songs and these beats, so if you dig the beats in the background, check out the link and enjoy. You can enjoy them on SoundCloud. And that's what I got for today. So y'all do great. Have a great night. I'll see you a little earlier in the morning for a super early, hopefully super short post. And then I'm getting on a plane and flying across the country. All right, y'all have a good one.